Okay, folks, I think we're going to try to get started here. I got 6 o'clock straight up. I'd like to call this May 5, 2026 meeting of the Henderson City County Planning Commission to order. Welcome, everybody. Thank you for coming. We always appreciate your help. Madam Secretary, please call the roll.
Thank you. David Dixon.
Here.
Kevin Richard.
Here.
Bobby Jarrett. Here. Mac Arnold.
Here.
Dickie Johnson.
Here.
Gary Gibson.
Here.
Kevin Herron.
Here.
Gray Hodge. Stacy Denton. Here. Frank Boyette.
Here.
Heather Crooks.
Here.
Kurt Hamilton.
Very good. Do we have a quorum?
We do, thank you.
Very good, thank you. We've got some work to do in public hearing tonight. I'll entertain a motion to enter public hearing.
So moved.
Second.
Motion and a second. Any discussion? All in favor of entering public hearing, say yes.
Yes.
Any opposed? We are in public hearing. First item of business is to approve the minutes from the April 7 meeting. I'll entertain a motion to do that.
So moved.
Second.
I have a motion and a second. Any discussion? All in favor of approval of the minutes as submitted, say yes.
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 Any opposed? The minutes are approved. Next item is revisions to the public improvement specifications. Mr. Bishop, this looks very technical. Are you going to address this?
I would like to say I had the ability to, but I will yield to Mr. Matt Calvert, who is much smarter than I am to talk about it.
Okay. Thank you very much.
Good evening, I'm Matt Calvert. I'm the Director of Engineering with Henderson Water Utility.
Your address?
1383 Commonwealth Drive.
And do you promise to tell the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth?
I do.
What do we have before us here, sir?
So this is our potable water technical specifications. So basically I'm here tonight on behalf of the Henderson Water Utility to present to you our newly revised potable water technical standards and ask for adoption of these standards and to be included in the public improvement specifications. The specifications that we bring to you tonight were previously approved by our Water and Sewer Commission at their February meeting. Our potable water technical standards is a technical guide for the construction of potable water facilities. We like to periodically review these to make sure they conform with the latest AWWA standards and 10 state standards. And to make sure that they are relevant to our current practices. The last time we revised our standards was in 2016. Just to give you a few highlights of some of the changes that were made. We revised definitions, just to clarify it. We updated our allowed material list. We added commonly used items that were not previously in our standards. And since that time, a lot of the product numbers and stuff have changed, so we updated those so that they conform. We removed the allowance of double meter boxes. We actually stopped doing this a number of years ago, but we're revising this in the new standards. We had a section that clearly outlines our acceptance procedures. We've got a lot of questions on that. Also with our warranty requirements after construction. The pipeline requirements were updated to meet the current 10 state standards. We removed all references to 3-inch water mains. All of our mains are either 4 inches and above. We used to allow 2-inch, but the state of Kentucky will not allow that anymore, so now it's 4 inch and above for all mains. Our standard details were completely revised. That's probably what we spent the most time and attention on. Our standard details is what engineers put into the construction drawings. That's what the contractor sees on site. They were kind of lacking in detail and information, so we put a lot more in that just to avoid any questions and just to add clarification to that.
I'm thinking that switch from 2-inch to 4-inch, that's probably based on ability to carry fire equipment.
For fire equipment, you have to actually have a 6-inch, if you've got a hydrant on it. But on a dead-end street or something, if there's not a hydrant on the end, we can go down to 4-inch to service those. The last thing that we did, that we're now requiring concrete meter vaults for any meters that are 4-inch and above. This is kind of common practice in a lot of industries and stuff have already been doing this, but we just added it to our specifications. So basically, that's all that we've changed. And I'd be happy to answer any questions if you have any.
Commission have any questions for Mr. Calvert on these issues? Thank you, sir. We may need you back. Anyone else here this evening like to speak in favor of these changes to the regulations? Anyone here this evening that'd like to speak in opposition to these changes or has further questions they'd like to get answered? Did you say that the water board's already approved these changes identically to what we're considering?
Yes, sir. At their February meeting, they approved it.
Okay, good. Thank you. I'm not hearing or seeing anyone else that'd like to address this matter. I'll entertain a motion.
But to confirm, is this a motion to recommend approval or a motion to adopt?
Good question. Adopt.
Okay.
You're adopting it, Mr. Chairman, can I elaborate for a second?
Please.
So the rubber really meets the road with these when we see construction drawings for subdivisions, like for example with Jago. This is incorporated into our subdivision regulations and our public improvement specs, but a lot of time it refers back to their standards. So this is updating that document. And most likely, this is really going to affect someone who's developing a large subdivision, just like the Jago subdivision or something of that.
But this doesn't go, we are the final step here, right?
Correct.
For approval.
Correct.
We're not
Yeah.
recommending it to any other body.
Correct. This is strictly the purview of the planning commission.
Okay, thank you. Good question. Anybody else have any questions or comments? If not, I'll entertain a motion in regard to these revisions to the public improvement specifications.
All right, Mr. Chairman, I'd like to make a motion to adopt the revisions to the public improvement specifications for the potable water technical standards that are supplement to the Henderson City County Planning Commission subdivision regulations.
Second.
We have a motion and a second. Any further discussion? Madam Secretary, please call the roll.
Thank you. Kevin Richard.
Yes.
Bobby Jarrett.
Yes.
Mac Arnold.
Yes.
Dickie Johnson.
Yes.
Gary Gibson.
Yes.
Kevin Herron.
Yes.
Gray Hodge.
Yeah.
Stacy Denton.
Yes.
Frank Boyette.
Yes.
Heather Crooks.
Yes.
Very good, motion passes, thank you. Next item is coming from Corridon, having to do with their manufactured home regulations. I think we have touched on this topic in regard to the city and the county, right?
That's correct.
This would be the third go-round on this?
It will.
Okay. Are you gonna,
I will yield to Mr. Wisher. Again, he's a lot smarter than I am.
okay. Your name, sir,
Chris Wisher.
and your address?
I'm at, my home address is 5922 Laurel Ridge Drive in Newburgh.
Okay, do you promise to tell the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth?
I do.
Good. How can we help you?
Well, first, I'm going to object to that statement. I would not say that I'm any smarter than Mr. Bishop or anyone else for that matter. But I'm smart enough to come in here after the city and the county have already done this, so you've already heard it before and you know what I'm talking about. And I don't probably have to explain as much, hopefully, take up as much of your time. The reason we're here, last year, the legislature adopted House Bill 160, which was codified in KRS 100.348, which essentially requires zoning ordinances for there not to be much for how we deal with what are defined in the code as qualified manufactured homes, essentially that they be treated no differently than other single-family homes in those districts where single-family homes are allowed and have common architectural characteristics. So much like the city of Henderson and the Henderson County, who you've already heard from, the city of Corridon, we had to make some amendments to the Corridon zoning code to be compliant with the new statute, and with the goal of being compliant. The statute requires compliance by June 30th of this year. So with Corridon City Council passed resolution number 2026-1, which has the textual changes to the ordinance that will comply with the statute. These changes are very similar to what you saw from this city and some from the county, although Corridon's ordinance is different in some places. It's also very similar, but basically revising it so that where essentially, the definition of qualified manufactured homes or housing is incorporated from the statute, and then the definition of dwelling unit, single family, is modified to include a qualified manufactured home, so that wherever a single family home is allowed in the ordinance, the qualified manufactured home would be allowed. There are other details, of course, and if you have any specific questions, I can answer them, but it's very similar to what you already heard. And if you, this will be a recommendation to the city council, who will then adopt an ordinance by the June 30th deadline.
Does the commission have any questions for this gentleman? Oh. So we've got a city version of this, we've got a county version of this, and the Cardin version is yet again different.
Cordon zone has its own zoning code that's administered by the planning commission here. It's very similar to Henderson's, but quite different in some places, so yeah.
So
you're right.
what are the major differences in that we're looking at
Well, I think the
tonight?
city of Henderson has more zoning districts than Cordon does. And this, we did not have to deal with, I can't remember what, the Ottoman, that district, which is special. So Cordon's probably actually a little more straightforward. We, like I said, wherever single-family homes are allowed, qualified manufacturing homes would be allowed. Where there are Class B or Class C manufactured homes, I think C is not allowed, but B still is, and we try to make no changes there. Really try to keep things the same, but I would say there's more similarities than there are differences.
Mr. Chairman, can I jump in?
Sure.
I think one thing that kind of distinguishes the city of Cordon and the city of Henderson from the county of Henderson is that the county went with an option that was a little more à la carte, so to speak. Like there were multiple things they could do to qualify, where the city of Cordon and the city of Henderson, we got more cities that I'm dealing with here. They are more stringent, more this is how you're going to do it situation. So that's probably the main difference. Chris, is that fair to say?
I think that's fair to say. I think in the Cordon version, there was a little bit of what I took from the county, because Cordon is it's urban, but a little more like what you find in the county, so there may be more flexibility. We wanted to do this in a way that complied with the statute, but it wasn't too onerous in how it dealt with residents.
Okay, thank you. Any other questions for this gentleman at the moment? Thank you, sir.
Thank you.
Do we have anybody else here this evening that'd like to speak in favor of these amendments, the proposed amendments? Anyone here this evening that'd like to speak in opposition to these proposed amendments, or perhaps has further questions? If not, I'll entertain a motion from the commission regarding these proposed textual amendments.
Chairman, I make a motion to approve the amendment that was read to us for the city of Cardin.
We have a motion and a second. We are voting on recommending approval to the city of Cardin, right?
Correct.
To the
Yeah,
Cardin
they
City
go back
Council.
then and they vote to approve it or not.
Okay, very good. We have a motion and a second. Any further discussion? If not, Madam Secretary, please call the roll.
Thank you. Heather Crooks.
Yes.
Frank Boyette.
Yes.
Stacy Denton.
Yes.
Craig Hodge.
Yes.
Kevin Herron.
Yes.
Gary Gibson.
Yes.
Dickie Johnson.
Yes.
Mac Arnold.
Yes.
Bobby Jarrett.
Yes.
Kevin Richard.
Yes.
Very good. Motion passes. Thank you very much. I'll entertain a motion to leave public hearing.
So moved.
Second.
I have a motion and a second. Any further discussion? All in favor of leaving public hearing, say yes.
Yes.
Any opposed? We're out of public hearing. The next item is the April finance report. Ms. Thompson, I think you got that for us?
Mr. Chairman, we are 10 months into our fiscal year, and we are at 86% of our budget, and I'm here to answer any questions you may have.
Any questions from commission for staff concerning the finance report? If not, I'll entertain a motion to approve as presented.
So moved.
Second.
We have a motion and a second. Any further discussion? All in favor of approval of the finance report, say yes.
Yes.
Any opposed? Very good, the finance report is approved. Next item is the bond report. Ms. Allen?
Yes, thank you, Mr. Chairman. We've got 2 items on the bond update for this month. The first one being Canoe Creek, Section 3, or specifically its Kayak Lane portion. We do still hold 2 separate bonds for them on roadways and sidewalks. As you can see there, the roadway bond is for the surface coat only. We'll extend that at 1 year at the same amount, which is currently the $14,930. The sidewalks have been completed and can be released once the city accepts those information for maintenance. So if you guys move to do that, I will send that over to him tomorrow. The second is the Copper Creek PUD. We currently hold bonds for roadways and sidewalks through there as well. 10 of those 31 lots are completed and 2 are under construction. The roadway bond will remain at the same amount of the $17,576. The sidewalk bond will increase to $33,264 due to the increased cost of sidewalk construction. The city just did their bidding for those different projects. The roadway amounts stayed the same, but the sidewalk construction numbers did increase. So that's what we might see those on a few projects going forward this summer for those bond numbers. But we will renew those at those amounts for a year if you guys are good with that.
Any questions for staff concerning the bond report? If there are no questions, I'll entertain a motion to approve.
Mr. Chairman, I move we accept the bond report as submitted.
We have a motion and a second. Any further discussion? All in favor of approval as submitted, say yes.
Yes.
Any opposed? Bond committee report is approved. Thank you very much. We are up to administrative business. Mr. Bishop, you have one item you'd like to bring forward there?
Yes, sir. I know Commissioner Johnson initiated the process which the Plan Commission voted on for an amendment to the budget. We went to the city-county co-op, which is a group of the magistrates, judge, and commissioners and mayor, and made that request. At this time, the city and county declined, so we will operate under the same budget that was initially approved.
What was the thing they objected to?
I think some of it would best be described as the optics. I think they were concerned that if the Plan Commission staff were getting more than the rank and file employees of the city and county, that it could be a little problematic.
So we will operate under the budget that the planning commission staff originally submitted.
Correct.
Okay. Thank you for that update.
Yes, sir.
The only other thing I have, folks, is I would ask you to preview the next couple or 3 meetings. I think we have a special meeting later this month.
Yes, we do. So on, let me switch gears here. On May 20th, we have our second meeting regarding the WEX ordinance. This will cover noise, vibration, and shadow flicker. It will be held Wednesday, May 20th at 6 p.m. And one thing to note, we will meet in the fiscal courtroom as we did with the first one. We will have the speaking rules prepared, so that way if we do need to go multiple nights, we'll be ready for that. And then at next month's meeting, we anticipate bringing back the chapter of the comprehensive plan that will address solar farms, and specifically the cap that the county has asked us to address, with the goal of bringing back the zoning text amendment at the July meeting. So we are still making progress on the projects that were assigned to us by the fiscal court.
So what happens in June then as far as the solar cap?
So that is where the actual zoning text amendment will be originated. We prepare the comprehensive plan so that the ordinance that is written refers back to the comprehensive plan, so that it's the basis of the zoning text amendment.
Okay, so we're going to see the ordinance.
At the July meeting is the plan.
Okay, what happens at the June meeting on this?
That's when we bring the chapter of the comprehensive plan, which if I remember correctly will be chapter 12. It's a new addition to the comprehensive plan.
Okay. We're adding a whole new chapter.
Correct.
Okay. Any questions about the upcoming meetings? Okay, I just asked that to just kind of preview it for us, because I know that there's some high interest items on those agendas. Anybody else on the commission have anything they'd like to bring forward? Anybody else here this evening that has something they'd like to bring forward tonight under other business? I'm hearing none, I'm seeing none. I'll entertain a motion to adjourn.
So moved.
Second.
We have a motion and a second. Any discussion? All in favor of adjournment, say yes.
Yes.
Any opposed? We stand adjourned.